Hey everybody, it is September 14th, 2009, I'm Sonic Sons, and I'm doing a review and analysis and possible rewriting type thing of the movie District 9, which hopefully you've heard of and hopefully seen, particularly the scene part here, because alright, here's your basic deal. Good movie. Check it out. Sci-fi thing, it's different, it's got some stuff about apartheid, kind of, but obviously it's about aliens. You should see it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Spoiler alert! From here on out, I'm going to tell you everything that happens in this movie. I always thought movie reviewers should do that. Just like, I guess they do stars. That's true. They give out of however many stars. They'd be like, here's your complete generic review, and then a little line, and then some spoilers. So my first attraction to District 9 was Peter Jackson, who produced it. And I was like, ergo, good movie. Peter Jackson with Lord of the Rings. The guy's awesome. He didn't actually direct it or write the script or anything, but still, if he puts his name on it as producer, he's got to do a good job. And it is a good movie. When I walked away from it, I saw it just recently, because I didn't get around to seeing it when it first came out. Anyway, I walked away from it, and my first words were, excellent. Excellent movie. I thought it was like 4 stars. I thought maybe it was 4. In America, anyway, we judge it at 4 stars, so you know. I've heard other countries do 5, which might make more sense, but whatever. I thought, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, there are other movies that are better, certainly. But I thought so. 4 might be the thing. And then, over the next few hours, I kept thinking about the movie. And I noticed logical flaws. And then eventually I read Roger Ebert's review, and he was giving it 3 stars, and I was like, Alright, what we got? Well, in real life, there was apartheid and sort of thing. There was actually a District 6, was the real life thing, where a whole bunch of people were thrown in there because of the color of their skin. There was a slum, and just terrible prejudice and discrimination, and all sorts of things happening to these people. From South Africa, which is where the movie takes place, and instead of throwing lots of black people or whatnots into a slum, we have aliens. And, well, that's interesting. You got premise, certainly. The advertisement certainly brought that up of, they always have like a bus, in real life it'd be like on a bus, it would say like, this bus for humans only or something, District 9. Now, this could be interesting. This could be, the way creativity often works is to take something out of real life and then just sort of give you a new perspective on it, where it's essentially the same thing, but we're making it easier for people to understand by throwing this cloak of fiction on board, Deferent is a word I've invented and used to describe that. Sure, why not make that an official word? I don't know. And certainly by that different perspective thing, we have that no one in the audience is an alien, so you really start thinking of them as weird and strange, particularly when there's other human characters, of course, we've been introduced to, say, yeah, these aliens, we've been nice to them, but they've done crappy stuff to us. And I thought, that was interesting, the first few minutes of the movie, started going through my brain, and then try to, keep on my toes here, wait a minute, I think that was prejudice right there, I think that was supposed to be, oh, aliens, yeah, yes, they look ugly, clearly they're evil. But from that premise, the movie has some problems. I mean, it's competent, certainly, it's a good movie, I'd say worth watching. By any measure, was it that real excellence that I first thought of when I walked out of the theater. Get to the chase here with the biggest gap in the whole dang movie. Wickus at the beginning, or Vickus, main guy. The main guy? The human who turns into an alien, that one? I don't suppose you're confusing with anyone else. Vickus, whatever his name was. Starts off the movie doing his bureaucrat crap, going to eviction notices and all these things. He does a lot of evil stuff, right? And it's interesting, they don't make it like this hard-cold evil guy. Like, he's this, doopy bureaucrat dude, and You know, he loves his wife and so forth. And he also performs evil on the side, which happens in real life. You know, more often than we'd like to admit. So that contrast is actually a good thing. But he performs these evil things. What does he do? He kills babies, or depending on your perspective, performs abortions. But even so, those abortions will be without parental consent, which has got to be against somebody's moral code at the very least. Or kills babies. However that works. The alien babies. You know what I mean? Obviously, all the crappiness does to aliens. You have all those aliens living in a slum. I mean, already he's part of the system that keeps them there, and is now moving them to another area which is worse than their current slum, as he himself describes it eventually as being worse. He bribes this one guy to sign the notice, with the cat food, and this other guy just hits it, and that counts as a signature. He threatens people into it. The main alien guy, Christopher Johnson, obviously not his real name, but it makes it, bureaucrats. That's how they would name people. It's like, okay, whatever the most common name we can think of. You're going to be Christopher Johnson, because we're not going to bother trying to pronounce your real name. Christopher Johnson, he threatens the guy with kidnapping his kid. He goes out some legal crap. Oh, this is unsafe conditions. Look, I'll just take your kid away unless you sign this form. That's kidnapping. He threatens kidnapping. Okay, so Wickus is killing babies, performing abortions, or whatever. He's bribing. He's doing these evictions on unquestionable legality. Either it's legal and it's a whitewash, or it's illegal, or whatever it was. Blah blah blah. He's clearly tends towards force, not as much as the military guys, but a lot of these aliens find themselves on their knees with their hands behind their head before they've even done anything, like Christopher Johnson. All he did was ask simple questions about is this legal, and is Wickus answering questions? No, not really. He's like, how about I kidnap your child? So Wickus is doing evil things. As soon as he becomes a fugitive, every character in the movie forgets that Wickus ever did that stuff from the beginning of the movie. No one ever mentions it. It never comes up in any way at all. Everyone has amnesia, and that's the biggest flaw in the movie. Something I didn't really grab as I was watching, and then after I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute! I sort of noticed as I was first watching, and then after a while, yeah, that was really weird, now that I think of it. He never deals with his guilt. He finds the canister thing and sprays himself in the face. As soon as that happened, my first thought was, it's going to turn him into an alien. I gone into this thing with no spoilers. But, this is an obvious thing. You have a racism type thing, and alien technology shows up, and, wouldn't it be nice if it turns a human into an alien? Therefore, proven to us all the idiocy of this prejudiced system, We can see through the eyes of this one guy who himself realizes, wow, this doesn't make sense. Anyway, he starts transforming. Becomes a fugitive, goes to District 9. Now, you think the aliens in District 9 might know him. He's the guy in charge of grabbing them all and evicting them and doing all the evil things I mentioned. No one ever mentions this. He's on the run, and he winds up in the house of Christopher Johnson, which by itself is a bit of a coincidence, but oh well. This is the very same Christopher Johnson who, yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was, the whole movie is, in less than a week. So a couple days ago, he was here. He had the guy, Christopher, on his knees, hands behind his head, gun pointed at his skull, and Wickus is threatening to kidnap his child. He shows up at that guy's house, and that guy, Christopher, never seems to realize, aren't you the dude that threatened to kidnap my son yesterday? This never comes up. Not even in a passing sort of thing. I remember thinking, I was like, wait, is this the same guy? There's the guy and the kid, the computer parts, but no one seems to mention the kidnapping bit. Huh.